Some of you may have noticed in that last video, the one where I'm working out the forearms and I do the shadow striking in between the rounds. Might have noticed I hit the bag wrong and I stopped for a few seconds. Alright, what happened was I hyperextended my arm. I hit it with an open hand strike, but with this area, trying to get my hand strikes down in case I can, for some reason, one of my metacarpals are broken and like a boxer fracture type of stuff. I might not be able to punch that well anymore. It happened to me before, and I know for a fact. I was able to punch, but then I destroyed my arm, my hand, for a lot longer than what it should have been. But anyhow, the point is that if that happens, you can still strike with elbows, or even strike with the side, especially the front. It might still hurt a little bit, but you won't be shattering it as much as you crushing it and crushing it and crushing it. Alright, but anyhow, that's why I was doing that, so I can remember having done that in a long, long time, strike with open hands in a while. And right there, it reminded me of why we should keep doing it, why we should keep activating it in practical manners, in a practical nature. Because that way you know, your body knows, it builds confidence and it knows what to do in any situation, no matter how out of breath you are, how much adrenaline is going through you, how tired you are, how depleted you are, it doesn't matter. You'll know how to position your body to hit it properly, alright? And I hadn't struck anything like that in a while, so I kind of forgot about that. I placed my arm a little bit right, and I hit it with a little too much power, with with a little bit of carelessness, because I haven't done it in a while, and I hit it wrong. But you've seen that, and like maybe 20 seconds into it, or maybe less, maybe a tiny bit more, I realized, I need to take this like the real round, like it was a real thing, so I hit it. I tried not to show that it was hurting so much, so I tried to keep going, and then I still even struck with it, but a certain way, so it wouldn't hurt as much. But it's kind of good right now. It's only been not even 4 minutes since it's happened, but I'm doing my thing, mentally, psychologically, trying to block it out, imagine it, dwindling away. Anyhow, aside from that, now it's time to hand strike, to punch away, kick away with a little bit more purpose. Alright, the other ones were just kind of like shadow striking, shadow boxing. Alright, not crazy, nothing, realistic, but now I'm going to make it more realistic and put actual boxing gloves on so I can hit it hard. Last time I wasn't striking that hard. I was kicking a little hard, but now with the punching, alright? I'm going to try to work this kink out of me. Anyhow, but before I start, I'm going to do the ball to the wall. I haven't done that, but I'm going to go ahead and, wrap my hands up. That way I can do it with it, and then I can go straight into punching as soon as I'm done. That way I deplete all my fat, well, hopefully not all the fat, but you're tapping into most of the fat reserves you have in you, right? Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up. While I'm wrapping up, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of information on how a little bit of information on our energy. Reserves, how we use them and stuff like that. Right? I forgot the actual. The thing is, you'll see them on the bottom. The ATP, and there's different types of. God, I forgot the word. Something Goblin or something like that. Anyhow, you'll see them on the bottom. But the point I'm trying to say is that I'm going to tell you how you deplete your energy reserves, your energy system. So the first thing you deplete, in case you didn't know, are your carbs. So that's why it's really good to carb up. That's why boxers and sometimes even mixed martial artists carb up right before the night before, because after the weigh-ins, obviously, because it's going to give you extra energy. Because for one, the carbs gives you the initial energy. And then, some of the pastas and stuff like that, some of these boxers and martial artists eat before a fight, before a match, give you a little bit of fat too. But remember, as soon as you're done with depleting your sugars, which is your carbs, they're going to deplete really fast. You'll deplete like 1,500 of nothing but carbs in like less than 20 minutes if you move properly. Sometimes even less, sometimes a tiny bit more. For the usual people that really can't push themselves too hard, it might take at least 45 minutes before you're done with depleting your carbs. But anyhow, once you're done with carbs, you go to your fat reserves, right? So if you don't have much fat reserves, you better eat quite a bit of fat, a week or two before. Not an immense amount, because obviously most of you want to cut But remember, you don't want to deplete all your fat, man, because your fat is what fuels your heart, believe it or not, your cardiovascular system, I should say. Your fat reserves is what really is your energy for endurance. So once you have your initial energy, your initial cycles away, you know, you waste your energy like within, if it was boxing, say for instance it's 8 rounds, you know, within the first round, 2 to maybe 3 the most, you're done with your carbs. What do you call it? When it comes to MMA, 2 for sure, no more than 2. You'll be done with your carbs, and after that you're tapping into your fat reserves. So if you don't have much fat reserves, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're gonna be sluggish. Trust me, that lactic, you won't have enough concentration and focus on your breathing, which will not allow you to flush your lactic acid, and you're gonna be sluggish as hell because of that lactic acid. That's why we work out the way we do, to build true endurance, to learn how to fight through that lactic acid buildup, you know. Anyhow, let's see, what else? So, yeah, so just you gotta keep in mind, I mean, some of you may think, oh, that's freaking, you know, good job, Captain Obvious, when I say that, you know, oxygen equals energy, so you gotta breathe, you gotta blast yourself with oxygen. Yeah, of course, everybody knows that, but not everybody actually practices that. That's the number one thing I practice. The number one thing. The number 2 is, you know, clearing my mind. That way I know how to summon comfort within chaos. All right. So when I summon comfort, I'll be able to relax and not panic and put my body on autopilot, so that I'm punching, kicking away, you know, almost automatic in an autopilot, you know, mode. But that way I can waste more effort on the breathing. I know some of you might think like, that's bullshit. How the hell can you do that? Trust me, you can. Trust me, you really can. You know, you're only limited to your creativity. Remember that. You're only limited to your creativity. Alright? So anyhow, find a way to get it done. Trust me, it will happen. Alright? But like I said, it's mainly mental. 90% mental, 10% physical. Yes, you're giving out 100% physically, alright, but you want to put your body on autopilot, and that's where the 90% mental, because it takes more willpower, more fortitude to fight through the fatigue, to fight through that lactic acid buildup, through the pain, to the fear, alright, because you might be feared. There's nothing wrong with being afraid no matter how good you are. Alright, because that adrenaline, it gives you adrenaline. It's a good type of adrenaline that's going to help you, having that nervousness, that little fear in you. But anyhow, you got to learn how to, you know, find a way to summon that, so that you always know when to summon, no matter what's happening, how weak you feel, how much you want to give up so bad, but your heart will not allow you to, because of that mental, you know, fortitude for you trying to do that. 90% mental, 10% physical. All right, I'm going to take one last sip of water, because this last round is going to be insane. Well, these last 3 or 4 rounds or so. I wrapped up and it feels good. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start the medicine ball shoot. Alright, and then go ahead straight into punching a little hard.